This is Valley News Live at 6.
New developments tonight on a missing person case out of Grand Forks that we have been following for you for a couple of weeks. A family is grieving tonight as the search for their loved one comes to an end. The body of 55-year-old Fernando Balboa was found last night. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz was out in rural East Grand Forks where the body was found and has more.
I'm here in rural East Grand Forks, Minnesota, where there's nothing but open fields for miles in each direction. But over here where these flags are, officials say they found the body of 55-year-old Fernando Balboa around 6 p.m. Monday evening. It was a missing person case in Grand Forks, North Dakota, when Balboa went missing from his home on July 6th. But all the way in Polk County, Minnesota, a body turning up Monday night.
We were aware of it, but at the time we don't know what we're responding to or whatever.
Balboa's family searching for 8 long days. A GoFundMe site saying after putting up flyers, knocking door to door, the search came to an end in the most horrific way.
On investigating the scene and locating the deceased male, he was identified as Mr. Balboa, who had been missing from Grand Forks.
Officials say a nearby farmhand finding the body out here. Mark Hagan, also a farmhand nearby, says he's been following this story.
I've lived here for 58 years, and that's really shocking, to find. It's such a nice area here, and you never really hear of that stuff, so.
Balboa had required medication every 4 hours. Grand Forks police telling us it's a good sign, no outward appearance of trauma to the body.
Right now, foul play is not suspected.
But further autopsies still need to take place. Both the Polk County Sheriff's Office and the Grand Forks Police had little information to give, saying it's still an open investigation. In East Grand Forks, Minnesota, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
Officials say if you have any information regarding this case, to please contact Grand Forks Police or the Polk County Sheriff's Office. We filed an open records request and are waiting for more information pending the autopsies and investigation. We'll continue to update you on this case. A nice warm day out there, but there's still a chance of seeing storms. Let's find out when they'll move into our area. Hutch is here now with No Wait weather. Hutch?
Andrea, if you're in Grand Forks, if you're in Fargo, things fairly quiet right now, but the Skycam pointed up to the north and to the west of our South Fargo studios, and the Valley Skycam showing gray skies there. Cooler temperatures there as well. 79 in Jamestown, 77 in Devils Lake. Many of the rest of us in the low to mid 80s out there. Just garden variety showers moving along the Highway 200 corridor, and a few showing up in western parts of Cass County right now. The severe punch is off to the west. Here's a look at these showers. They'll be wet and prolonged and as they move eastward, but strong storms firing in north central South Dakota will move east along the border counties. There is a watch in this area until 1 o'clock in the morning. A few severe storms may persist into the overnight hours. I'll have hour by hour details, Andrea, here in just a couple of moments.
All right. Thank you, Hutch. We have some breaking news for you this evening out of Carrington, North Dakota. That's where an investigation is currently underway after possible human remains were found. Valley News Team's Katie Opperly just got on scene and joins us now with more. Katie, what can you tell us?
Andrea, I'm currently at the intersection of 14th Avenue South and 4th Street South here in Carrington, where the scene is roped off. They said that crews have been on scene for quite a few hours investigating this, including the Carrington Police Department, Sheriff Department, and the BCI. I'm told by crews that they were digging in this area when they came across what they believed to be human remains. They told me they saw several bones among a skull. I'll continue to remain on the scene and bring you updates. But for now, reporting live in Carrington, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
All right. Thank you, Katie. A 19-year-old man accused of sexually assaulting a 6-year-old boy in a men's restroom at a Warroad campground has pleaded guilty to criminal sexual conduct in the first degree. The alleged incident happened last July at the campground when the victim's mother said her son was using a public bathroom. The mother says just as soon as she was about to knock on the bathroom door, her son came out and was emotionally upset. The child told his parents that a man had done disgusting things. Court records state Dalton Cruz Kezar forced the boy to perform oral sex on him and then did the same to the child. Kezar pleaded guilty to one of 3 felony charges involving sexual conduct. He will be sentenced on September 16th. Police in Crookston are searching for a man who they say threatened a worker at McDonald's and possibly had a gun on him. Officers say it happened Monday evening. They tell us the threat was made by a customer at the drive-thru when a man possibly brandished a handgun and said, quote, "Give me all your money." Just kidding. Police are now looking for this man, or for a man who they say was in a gray SUV, possibly with a woman. If you have any information on this case, you're urged to call Crookston Police. West Fargo police are asking for your help trying to identify this person in an ongoing investigation. If you have any information about that person, you can call West Fargo police. Their tip line is 433-5333. Excessive heat is causing concerns along local roadways, and it's not over yet. Both lanes of I-94 will temporarily reopen in a few hours after the stretch between Moorhead and Downer was forced to close when the road erupted due to high temperatures. And while the peak of this heat wave has passed, temperatures will stay in the 80s until the weekend. Local experts say that's all it takes to create dangerous road conditions.
We start looking at potential issues anytime the temperature's upper 80s, in the 90s, with real good sun. The pavement temperatures, it gets crazy. 110, 150, 120 degrees. You know things are moving around.
Starting tomorrow, crews will work on the right-hand lane of I-94 East, and repairs should wrap up entirely by tomorrow night. We have some good news for all LME employees looking for a new job. The company Ruan plans to step in to help all workers in need of a job. Ruan says it's growing in several operations throughout the Midwest. Officials there say Ruan invites all former LME employees who meet their qualifications to apply and join their team. The company is offering 3 weeks' pay owed to these professional drivers by LME to help them transition their careers. For more information on how you can apply, go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. President Donald Trump signed a trade deal between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada late last year, but Congress still needs to give it a stamp of approval. Members of the Minnesota Pork Producers Association were in Washington today to meet with lawmakers. They're urging them to support the trade deal because they want a good working relationship with Canada and Mexico, which could increase the number of pork exports.
And I think it's too important to Minnesota, to rural Minnesota especially as we're going through a really soft farm economy. Anything that we can have to build momentum towards exports helps with that. Brings more dollars into rural communities, and we think that's really important.
According to the state agriculture department, pork is one of Minnesota's top ag exports, and Mexico and Canada are some of the top customers. Officials with the city of West Fargo have announced they will be adding customized bins to dispose of medical waste, such as needles and syringes. Authorities say the Sharps drop boxes will be installed at the sanitation building and the West Fargo Police Department. According to the release from the city, recycling and landfill partners had to deal with sharp objects appearing in their equipment far too often, endangering their work environment. Punctures by contaminated needles could result in serious infection or illness. It is estimated that 7 billion sharp objects are thrown in the trash every year, resulting in about up to 850,000 injuries. Later on Valley News Live at 6, efforts are underway right now to curb the recent surge in mosquitoes.
Quiet as we head into the early evening for now, but we do have a risk of some severe storms, particularly in the southern half of our viewing areas. And those storms are located in north central South Dakota now. I'll have details on when they arrive and what you can expect for the rest of your Wednesday next.